What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Verse 1.
and today we're back at it again, answering more questions in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what Twist Jane has done. She asks, what would you do with an old Forge World model, like Greater Demons, Chaos Dwarves? Do you sell it now or keep it? That's a really good question. My advice to you is if you have something that went to Legends is hold on to it. You put your sweat, blood, and tears into it. Why sell it?
Don't forget it. You also put money into it. These Forge World models are not cheap at all. And the thing about Forge World is that they're usually variants of something that you can already play. So if you have like a Dreadnought, the Tau battle suits, just play them as another Dreadnought or other Tau battle suits.
Yep, that's exactly what you should be doing. Base sizes might change, but you could always pop those out and replace them. At an extreme, I would say that you can use some vehicles like the old school Dreadnoughts, which is not Forge World. So these are just like the old
Boxy
classic,
ones.
yeah, boxy ones. You can use those as terrain. Because I don't even think, can you play a regular Dreadnought on the tabletop right now?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I mean, check the list and see if it's worth playing. But it's so... There was a box set that came with a Dreadnought. I think it was like with the Space Wolves or something like that. So there's a bunch of them out on eBay. You can get them for like really cheap. And by really cheap, I mean like $15. So at that point, if you're not using it as you're sitting on your shelf, cut it in half, put it down as like terrain piece or something like that, and make your actual board look cool, so that when you're playing the game, you're kind of like, I might not be able to play that Dreadnought anymore, but I can see it every time I play.
Yeah, and that's one of the cool things about these models from like years past is that eventually GW is gonna phase them out, or they're gonna either put them to Legends and just ignore them. But if they're like your pet, model, you can keep it alive by like repurposing it, taking bits from it, putting it on like a Primaris Marine. For example, I know a buddy of ours who had a really awesome sergeant who would always do like epic things. But now that he's got Primaris Marines, he took the helmet of the sergeant and he uses it as like almost like an honor trophy for like one of his like other armies. So you could always do stuff like that, or just say fuck it and just play it as whatever you want. Because I mean, unless you're playing at a local GW or like a official tournament, you could do whatever you want.
Yeah. I even in the beginning when like Gretchen, or the beginning of 9th edition, I think Gretchen were really good. And I was thinking of actually buying like the old school Gretchen models. And I went on eBay and they're selling for the same price as like regular Gretchen. So I was like, oh shit. That just goes to show you that even though the old Marines might not look as cool on the tabletop, the value holds.
Yeah.
So yeah, do something cool with that. Oh, another thing that I've been thinking about is using the old unbuilt Firstborn Marines and using them as casualties on my bases.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Next question.
This one's by Neo Acid Creep. Why do you motherfuckers always take long breaks after I ask a question? Do you not like me? Well, here's this question, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's because we don't like the acidity. It hurts our stomach. We're Mexican, so we were born eating hot sauce. And by our age now, there's no stomach lining.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
What is that? Heartburn? Constant thing for us.
Yeah. We're feeling it right now. Why do you think we're so happy?
Is it because we're a creep? We're a weirdo.
I did not have an emo phase. So.
Oh, no? Neo Acid Creep? Every time I hear creep, I just think about that.
Next question comes from Austin Palmer. Can you do a video of you battling randoms at local game stores in 40K?
See, I would, but I don't want to get arrested.
Just going up to a GW employee and like sticking them. But if you go check out the One Mind Syndicate page, we have that.
Yeah, there are, like a handful?
Yeah, and obviously they're old editions.
Yeah.
So the reason that we don't do battle reports is because battle reports take a lot of effort, and we don't get much back from it, meaning you guys don't watch. So like we're not going to create something for the small minority and kind of take away from our experience of playing the game as well. Like, nobody wins in that situation.
Yeah.
You don't get enough battle reports because we don't post enough. We don't enjoy the game because we're worried about recording.
We're focusing on making a good recording, a good amount of like angles and making it entertaining. Editing is a huge one. All the time and effort put into that, only to put the video out and get like what, 200 views?
Yeah, and where we could have used that whole time to just make more lore videos, make more Greater WAAAGH videos or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bunch of other channels that do a really good job doing that stuff, like what is it?
40K in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that they do. I think they said they all got backgrounds in like cinematography and stuff like that.
Damn, there you go.
Yeah.
We're watching professionals. The next one comes from Real Henry Bayman. Where'd you go? Oh, wait, is that the same one?
No, it's a different one.
What do you guys do for a living? Been watching for like 6 years now over on OMS and never once thought about it.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah. YouTube is a big chunk of our, how would you put it? Lives?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think it's creeped into, obviously it's a hobby. It was like that, but now it's more of like, we look at it from a perspective of like, well, what are we doing in order to get this thing going? Mm-hmm. Getting more views, getting more interactions and stuff like that.
And it's just like any other type of like job. The more you do it, eventually you will get burnt out. So like if it's something you really love and have a huge passion for, yeah, you're going to have fun doing it. But the more and more you do it, the more it becomes a job. Yeah. But I feel like you have to take breaks in order to get out of that like monotony and kind of focus on the parts you love instead of just making it into an everyday grueling like type of feeling.
Yeah. And aside from that, we still do, well, you play Magic.
Yeah, Magic.
Every now and then we'll do some D&D. We did a little D&D / 40K campaign a while back. Today we're probably going to
touch grass.
Yeah, go outside.
So that's something everybody should be doing every now and then.
Yeah, so 40K is awesome, but remember that outside is there's something outside. Now you have a third question. Do you think Warhammer 40K would make for a good survival video game setting? Of course.
Yeah, I think when it comes to video games, 40K is kind of like, well, I mean, Space Marine 2 is coming out, so that's going to be the big one. But I feel like they should have an even bigger presence when it comes to more 40K games instead of just being mostly computer RTSs or mobile games.
Yeah.
Yeah, horror, strategy, survival, first-person shooter, hell, even like a Dark Souls-esque type of game would work really, really good with the 40K setting.
Yeah.
There's so many avenues to explore. Like, it doesn't even have to be just Space Marines. You can be a human in a hive city. You could be a Dark Eldar Corsair who's investigating a Space Hulk or something like that. Like, you could do a lot of things with this IP.
Yeah. I think I've always wanted to play as a neophyte or an acolyte. I can't remember what it's called, but basically the human that's going through the Space Marine trials. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, you get the reward of an apothecary killing you, basically. Or not an apothecary, a chaplain killing you. Mm-hmm. Because that's what happens when a Space Marine becomes a Space Marine. You lose your old self, for the most part, not always. Yeah, that answers that. Next question comes from Isaac Chan. Love the different shirts of the Sound Alchemist. Gersh, do you have more than one shirt? How can we get you more shirts? You can support us on by giving us super thanks. The more super thanks we get, the more black shirts I can buy. I only have 2. That's a lie. I have a lot. I think I can count how many non-black shirts I have. 3.
It's like if you've ever seen like those old school cartoons where they wear the same outfit every day. It's not the same outfit. Their closet just has that same styled outfit.
Exactly, yeah. I smell clean, I swear. Next question.
The big one asks, do you guys think the Emperor would look at me with disgust if I dropped my shorts and started twerking and grinding on him to demonstrate the true beauty of the naked human body?
Maybe.
Yeah, it depends on what era you're talking about. Because if it's current 40K era, the Emperor he's not there.
Yeah, no.
There's no way you can get close enough to the Emperor to even him feeling your presence of twerking on him.
You have to be a Primarch talking about like the status of the Imperium as it is today. You twerking on a corpse, I think, is illegal in this state. So
yeah, you might have to rethink that one.
yeah.
And that's all the questions we have for you guys today. Keep asking those questions, guys. They're really entertaining. It doesn't even have to be about 40K, but keep those questions coming, and so will we. And as always, it's been the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwan.
and we are out.